wouldn't say this show is for everyone. Some people like it. Some people have t-shirts with Hamura and Madoka on them because they just really like those characters. And some people even have a giant poster of those characters at their old room in their parents' house. And I had a Cube stuffed doll somewhere, and so, magical girls again. In this magical girl story, Madoka is an average teenager living in the not too distant future with a pretty nice family and overall a pretty nice life. Everything changes when Madoka has a mysterious dream and the girl from her dream shows up at school the next day. The same day, a strange creature called Cube invites Madoka to become a magical girl and achieve her wish. Madoka thinks that this will be her chance to actually help people and do some good in the world. But is this such a good idea? No. There are some very well-known people working on this show. The director, Akiyuki Shimbo, has worked on many things from the studio Shaft, which is kind of known for its darker, more serious stories. The writer, Urobuchi Gen, is also very known for his grim and very dark style. He's known for working on stuff like Psycho-Pass. Another big name on Madoka Magika is Kajiara Yuki, who did the music. And it's gorgeous. Her style is very dramatic, almost operatic. It's really cool, and she's also done stuff like the soundtrack for Noir, which is also a really fun show. The backgrounds are really amazing on this and really memorable, especially when they go into the places where they're fighting, which are known as the witches' mazes, and it's sort of this weird collage of photographs and real stuff and these characters running around, and it's really hard to tell how big things are or how far away they are, so it's like this really cool surreal world. A term you'll hear discussed a lot with this type of show is moe. And what is moe? I would say that in my experience it's kind of making the characters extremely innocent and cute and appealing in the way they look in order to make the audience feel sympathy with them. And that's kind of a general description, but just very cut and dry, that's kind of how moe works. It can be a little patronizing at times. It depends on what show you're watching, because obviously if you're meant to think, oh, these are so cute, poor little things or whatever, then you're not really identifying with the characters yourself, and you're not really seeing them as fully fleshed out characters. I would say that although Madoka Magika does use moe, the characters are all very strong, very well fleshed out, very identifiable. I think we're supposed to be identifying with them and not necessarily looking down on them. Without getting too into spoilers for this, there are some questions being asked about whether this is a satire on the magical girl genre or whether this is a magical girl show that just happens to have a darker tone to it. And I would say that they're both valid ways of reading it, because you do have the traditional magical girl journey. It ends with saving the world in a sort of vague way, and it has all those narrative points to it. I think that where Madoka Magika becomes satire is in the way that it makes certain things that are subtext in most magical girl shows text in this show. And that's especially the idea that growing up, not usually that positive of a thing for magical girls. And also that when you really think about it, these are child soldiers, and that's never really a good thing. So I really like how Madoka Magika kind of gets into those implications, and I think that's where the strength of the story comes in. The plot is a strong point of this show. I would describe it as Shakespearean, because you see this very straight cause to effect, decision and consequence, action and reaction, your sins will find you out kind of plot going on. And that's very fascinating to watch, especially because you don't understand everything that's going on in the beginning, but as the episodes go on and you understand more and more about the world, you see like, oh, like I thought this meant one thing back there, but now it has totally different implications. But it feels very natural, and the characters are often very clever in the steps they use to try to get ahead in a world where that's very difficult and everything seems to go wrong at times. The characters are also a really strong part of this show. They are very archetypical, but you just really come to care with them and care about their struggles as the show goes on. And none of them are just stereotypes. They all have a history and depth to them. And sometimes they present as one way early on in the show, and then you learn later on that they had this whole other side of them that came out because of the events they were going through. I would say this show can be very violent at times, not necessarily in like an icky or gory way, but more of a pull at the heartstrings kind of way. And I think some people will be put off of that because of the moe, and there's that question of, are we supposed to be identifying with the characters and going through what they're going through, or are we supposed to get some kind of weird schadenfreude out of seeing like these cute girls put in dangerous situations? And I'd say it's mostly the first thing where it's about the characters, but some people will probably be a little bit put off by that. I recommend Madoka Magika for people who like the magical girl genre, who like dark things, who like dark fairies. I would recommend this for people who like Coraline, either the movie or the book, because it has that similar tone. And I wouldn't recommend it for people who hate moe or hate magical girls or don't like dark stories. So I think good writing, good characters, really good music, really good sets, a really interesting plot. Definitely check it out.